did he say? That he doesn't believe in it, right? Louis Marco Aggie. What did Louis Jackson say about XRP? Um, okay, Austria. That's right. Yes. Marco Aggie. What did he say? I haven't listened to him recently, but he has some very good positions. But again, you have to look at, like, one person can't have it all right, in my own opinion, because I've been studying this thing too for 5 years. I don't have this kind of following, but I really do believe what I believe, right? So, and it's something I've invested in, and I've seen it go up. Like, people who bought it at 15 cents, they're not crying because it's at $2 today. They're not like, oh, belly aching over something, right? And if you invested in Bitcoin a year ago, you're not any better. Like, even if you put $1 million in Bitcoin, it's not done much for you if you bought it in December of 2024. So a year later, it's not like, how much has it done for you? You see what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Animal Love. I appreciate you. You've been on my channel since I had like maybe 200 subscribers. Okay. So Marco Aggie, tell me what he has said that has made you change your mind. Like, I don't know, when you say change your mind, do you like it now or you hate it? Have you sold your bags and you're out? I want to know. Okay. So I was talking about how XRP will blindside people. Today, just today, I'm going to show you something. Let's look at let me pull out just look at this news today. This is Ripple. I'm going to share my screen, and I want to show you here on their X page, formerly Twitter. Today, our partners at BNY Global launched tokenized deposit services for institutional clients, bringing the promise of digital assets directly into the banking system, with Ripple Prime as an early adopter. We are proud to expand our long-standing strategic collaboration with BNY, the primary reserve custodian of RLUSD. Together, we are bridging traditional and digital markets. I've told you, you know it, right? You see it. The traditional banking system and financial system will collapse into digital. And that is why the tokenized, look at it, BNY launches tokenized deposits solution, extending digital cash capabilities. Now, look at this other news from Start Alderati, their corporate legal advisor. He says, yet another major step forward. Proud to announce the approval of our EMI license and crypto asset registration from the UK's FCA. This is a positive signal for the UK's digital assets industry and underscores Ripple's global licensing momentum. We're proud to meet the FCA's rigorous standards and look forward to scaling Ripple payments for UK financial institutions. Like, the way they're speaking, the kind of things they're saying. Like, when Brad, I'm not going to play this video because I don't want to get limited by YouTube. So this, you can go to Ripple's site and watch these yourself. Huge news today. As a Brit, it feels absolutely brilliant to see Ripple officially secure its approval from the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA. That is the top licensing, authority for approving fintech companies or financial companies. Now, I mean, let me pull up something here also that I had just. Let's look at the impact. What does this do? The new EMI license, okay, and crypto asset registration in the UK enables Ripple to expand its payments offerings, reinforcing commitment to global regulatory compliance. All right, the new EMI license. So, what is the EMI? Electronic Money Institutional License. That's what it is. All right. So, it refers to a major regulatory milestone achieved by Ripple through its UK subsidiary, Ripple Markets UK Limited, from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. So, what does this mean for Ripple? This authorization allows Ripple to issue electronic money, digital forms of fiat currency, provide payment. Like, imagine. Now, before I go on, let me say this. Do you know the value, the importance of London, right, and New York? Okay, London and New York when it comes to the financial world. The trillions of dollars, thank you, hit the like button. The trillions of dollars that move through those two, we're talking about 9.3 $9.3 trillion moving through these two, and they take a huge chunk. Is it London only? Or look, I was just researching it earlier to see how much goes through London. Let me just see. I think I have the details here. So, having said this, right? So we have the electronic money institution license. We also have crypto asset registration. This registers Ripple under the UK's money laundering regulation, because that's a big deal. What Elizabeth Warren was crying about, oh, they're gonna, the thieves are gonna take all the money and all that, right? They're gonna launder money, right? That deals with that. So overall implications for Ripple: expansion in the UK, which is great because Ripple's infrastructure for regulated cross-border payments powered by digital assets is playing its own role in the London global financial market, because when you hear London, you are hearing global finance. When you hear New York, you're hearing global finance, even though it's US and the UK. Global compliance push. Coming after Ripple's resolution of its long-running SEC case in the US, this reinforces Ripple's strategy of prioritizing regulatory clarity in key markets. So that's a key market. The UK is a core hub for them, right? London holds their largest non-US office, because from London they hit Singapore, they hit Taiwan, they hit Hong Kong, they hit everywhere, right? Okay, so I think they have an office in Tokyo as well. Broader impact: it signals growing mainstream adoption of blockchain payments in regulated environments. While not directly a retail license, they don't need a retail license. Remember, in the US, they have already given license by the Office of the Comptroller of Currencies, to be a what you call it, a national trust bank. Okay, so what is the market reaction? Well, the token, as we see, is at $2.10 and $2.13, and there are people who will mock at that. Let me tell you, the day XRP's price will jump, it'll jump so fast, so quick, people will not even have time to react. And I know this, I believe this in my heart. Why? Because of some of the other things happening. So how can one company have so much? Now, don't forget, Brad Garlinghouse says everything they do, XRP is in the center of everything they do. So how can a company that massive, right, be having all of this going on, and you look at the price and you think, oh, there's nothing funny about the price? I think it's suppressed. Brad Garlinghouse says, oh, nothing can, manipulate XRP's price and all that. Well, let's wait and see. But more than anything, I remember months ago, early this year, I did a live where I was talking about how I believe that, the volume or the value of what flows over the ledger is what will determine at some point the jump in price, because it's all about flow, liquidity, right? If you have a pipe, if the pipe is a quarter full, you can't say it is full. If it's half full, you can't say if it's. I didn't say soon. Did you hear me say soon? I've stopped saying soon so that people don't say, well, you said soon. So buy something else that will happen quickly, because nothing is happening quickly. There's nothing now. Solana is not jumping. Bitcoin is up and down. So what are you talking about? Right? So Hoti, what are you saying? When would XRP jump? When? Soon. When is that soon? How do I know? Do you know? I don't know. But I'm watching what is happening. I'm reporting what is exciting, the good news that is happening. And if you bought your XRP at $1, then or $2, well, sorry, you just have to wait, because there are people who bought their XRP at 17 cents, at 6 cents, at 3 cents. So they're already rich, particularly if they bought a lot of it. Like somebody who bought 500,000 XRP. Hey, Merzia, how you doing? God bless you. Please follow my Patreon if you've not. Join me on Patreon, please. Let's continue the journey of learning together and growing together. Just so you know, I do have a Patreon now that you can join, and you can watch some of the videos that I put on there. Exactly, nobody knows. Even the people who are in there, there's certain things that this is something. It's like building a hotel. You have 300 rooms in the hotel, right? Each of the rooms is a big, massive resort. Each of the rooms, let's just say 100 for ease of calculation, 100 rooms. Each of those rooms is $500 a night. Well, what will 100 rooms give you if they're full? $5,000. If the hotel does not get full at any point in time, you can never get $5,000 per for a night when it's full. You need full capacity to get that money. And that's exactly how I see this thing. Until we get to that point where the market is mature, no switch is flipping. There has to be a mature market. And Brad Garlinghouse says that very well. He says, look, when the market matures, then it'll happen. So what you need to do right now, if you are a holder like Hoti, who was asking me a question, you know what you need to do, Hoti? You need to learn DeFi, Hoti 95. If you have some good money, you need to learn DeFi. Buy XRP, buy Solana, buy ADA, Cardano, and put it into decentralized finance. Today, I claim rewards in DeFi. I have already earned money in DeFi. Why? Because I can do it. It's all available. There's also liquidity pools. You find the right liquidity pools and you put your money in there. Join me on Patreon and you can learn these things so that you're not just like, oh, when is the price going to go up? When is the price going to go up? You already have an asset. I know a guy who has like XRP worth $250,000. So what did he do? He even could borrow against the XRP. That's one of the things Jay Claver is doing, that everybody's flocking to. And the guy has become so big now, right, that a lot of people holding XRP, both in US and Canada, they are going to Jay Claver. Is because he promises 14% return or something of the sort for XRP worth 50,000 XRP or 100,000 XRP. So do you see what I'm saying? So we have to be doing something. We have to engage ourselves. Some of us are not people with 100,000 or 200,000 XRP. We don't have those kind of XRP, but you are still part of the whole thing. If you are holding 5,000, 10,000, you are praying that it gets to 500 to 1,000. And listen, I believe that Ripple, XRP, as well as all of the ISO cryptos, they are going to take the market from where it is right now to $10 trillion, if not more. Bitcoin will play its role, but can you imagine Bitcoin halving all the way now? We're in, how many months are we in since Bitcoin's halving? We're almost going to the second year, right? But so what's delayed the reaction of the market to the halving? So many other things are in play now. We're looking at laws, the Clarity Act. Well, we are hoping it's passed in 2 weeks. If the Democrats don't go rogue with, they're talking about, closing the government, shutting down the government. That, in my opinion, might affect it. So for Hoti and others who are asking, when is XRP's price going to? I don't think any of us know. We're all expecting for 2-3 years, we've been shouting, oh, when this happens, it'll go up. When this happens, and nothing. The only thing we've experienced is it's done exactly what it's done in the past. From nowhere, it'll just tinker along at a low price, at a low value, and suddenly shoot up unbelievably to a price that nobody can expect. And when it does several percentage points. The last time in October, November 2024, XRP it did a 7x. This has been the consistent story with this particular digital asset. So if you hold it, I wouldn't recommend that is the only thing you hold. You should diversify. You should have other assets. I've shown you how you can earn, even today, 9 to 12% on your Solana. If you have Solana, let's say you have 10 Solana or 50 Solana or 100 Solana. Like, what is 100 Solana? It's not like crazy. It's not too much. Will probably run you about 14 grand. So if you have half of that as 50 Solana, you could be making 9%. Let me see, what is Solana giving today? What are we getting on Solana? 9.16% APY. I mean, so that's what we need to learn now and know how to do. You should find liquidity pools. You should be engaged in liquidity pools where you are actually earning money. Somebody messaged me, and some people are honest, and I like honesty. She said, I need to join your Patreon. We had talked, she had done a session with me like maybe a year ago, and she said, oh, I need to join your Patreon because I'm going to join the top tier because I really don't know anything. I just have all these digital assets. I just want you to show me what to do. I don't even know how to take profit. But I did one of the shorts that I did recently, I was talking about how people are putting 25K into crypto because their friends are telling them, I don't know, human behavior has been the same in, day out, where like I don't know, emotions, people run most on emotions. And that's why smart people say in investment, they talk about smart money and dumb money. Some people are running to go and put their money in without really learning the space. Okay, so I was telling you about XRP blindsiding people. Look at the news that we just heard now about, so we've seen XRP Ripple apply to be a national charter bank for crypto. Right? There's no other company who's done that. Maybe others will come in the future, but none other. They'll be the first. So I don't see how they will not be working with the Federal Reserve. Have you ever thought of that? So you have the Federal Reserve, which is a Federal Reserve for what? For fiat, not for crypto. So now you have a national trust bank that's going to be doing what? Custodying stable coins as well as other digital assets. You think that this is not your future Federal Reserve? Like, I don't know how else to, like, it looks interesting. Because if everything is going to go digital, if everything is going to go crypto, then we're going in that direction. And the way the President Trump is going, in 3 years, this administration, there are some problems with the administration. There's some things that are happening people don't like. The ICE enforcement of immigration law and all of that. People hate that. A lot of people hate it. But I'm telling you, this administration, the speed with which, I don't even know how they are doing what they are doing with trying to make America the crypto capital of the world. Remember, this guy is a builder. This guy is he does projects, right? He says, this is what I want to do. This is not 2017. He's learned what not to say, what to say. Look at what they did with Venezuela. You may not agree with that, but that thing was a surgical operation. Went in there, trained for 4 months, and removed the man and brought him. They are really setting up America. Is America going to go through some hard times? I still think so, but I don't think that. I think the foundation that is being laid right now is on the long term going to be good overall if Jesus tarries for the people and for the future generation. So Ripple is a national trust bank for crypto. I don't see how the Federal Reserve, because see, as crypto grows and becomes a $10 trillion, you think it will not be. What is it? How much is the market worth? Somebody tell me. Daniel, are you there? What is the market worth today? And tell me that a 10x is not possible. Because if if the Bitcoin aficionados are saying that a time is coming when Bitcoin will be $1 million, well, I don't know when that will happen. But then you're looking at the future. You think Ripple in 2035 will not have become the Federal Reserve? Because they're taking over. It's like gas vehicles. Gas vehicles came, and there's something called side-by-side coexistence. The old technology and the new technology, they coexist. The old way to do things and the new way to do things, they coexist. Firewood stoves coexisted with gas stoves for a while, with kerosene stoves for a while. Kerosene is from crude oil too, just like you have petrol, gas for cars. You have kerosene. Actually, aircraft, that's what they fly on. Then you have AGO, diesel. They all come from crude oil. But there was a coexisting phase. Then eventually that is done away with. I have a wood burning furnace in my home. Not furnace, fireplace. And every Christmas, my sons like to stock it up with, like, my sons are very, like, they get giddy about Christmas. They like to do stuff. So they put the thing, it's beautiful. Once in a while over Easter or something like that, holiday seasons, Thanksgiving, we put it on. But particularly in the winter, right? Because you don't need it in the summer. But there was a time when all homes had firewood stoves for cooking, for heating the home. And that's why if you look back in the 1920s, 1800s, 1850, the homes were very small. 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom homes. Tiny, because you want to contain the space the heat in a small space. So with advancement, all of those, then with only the rich used to have big homes. Now people who are even middle class have large homes because they can borrow money. So all I'm trying to say is that there's a coexisting phase, and I don't see how Ripple will not one day become the Federal Reserve. I don't know, because the way the Federal Reserve has operated for this for the longest time has to change. Something has to give. And look at the monetary system. Like the crypto actually is better money than the fiat system, because you start with 0.00 whatever, and then true value is given to it based on, one, the community that adopts it, two, the nation or government or whatever that adopts it. If that doesn't even happen, as long as there's a community behind it that agrees to use it for exchange of goods and services, what really happens is that it begins to accumulate value. So its value is in the production that, or in work done, not just printing. And there we go. The only thing that is close to fiat in crypto world today is Tether. Tether prints to proper Bitcoin. They mint to proper that's why they've never been audited, and they're never going to be audited. They won't allow it. So when you look at what has happened now in London, it's very exciting, very encouraging. And I think that XRP will truly blindside people from the way things are going. Now, the one thing that I wanted to add to what I've said today with what's happening in London, so Ripple now has all of these banks they're dealing with. I now realize when Brandon Biggs had that prophecy where he said he suddenly saw XRP just jump to 1,000, 10,000 over a very short period of time. I see why it's possible. Very, very possible. Again, remember, when there's a prophetic word, we see it, we hear it. For me, it wasn't a prophetic word that got me into XRP, but prophetic words, or the prophetic leading of the Lord, brought me into crypto. Okay? But down the line, I've learned a lot more. And I want to show you something that I did show you this before, but it is tokenization, and how tokenization will be something to really write home about. I've shown you this before. I don't want to go there again. Bergen County, okay, partners with Balcony for 240 billion property tokenization project. This news came out on May 29, 2025. All right. And Bergen County is in New Jersey, and they signed a 5-year agreement with Balcony to digitize. So this will be completed by 2030. They are going to digitize 370,000. And I bet you they're going to sign another agreement as this continues to go to tokenize some more. Everything will be tokenized. Okay. The initiative claims to represent the largest blockchain-based land registry tokenization project in the United States. This 240 billion worth of real estate will not be 240 billion in 5 years. It will be worth more. Right? So do you see how this is only one county? Now let's count. This is Bergen County in New Jersey. Let's look and count. Let's add 10 counties that will give you this amount. You are already looking at what? 240 billion multiplied by what? And this, I'm thinking wealthy counties now, right? Remember, when cell phones came, the wealthy people were the ones to get on first. So some of these wealthy counties are the ones that will first get their properties onto blockchain. And once that happens, the rest will follow. It's always like that. It's always like that. So rich people used to have cell phones, and the people, middle class and poor, is like, man, look at that. The guy's carrying his phone in his pocket. I remember one time my mom said to me, it was in the 90s. She said, oh, one day you would also have your phone in your pocket. Of course, it came to pass. But she was like, she wanted her son to be, because there was something about people carrying their phones around, the managing directors, the CEOs, the people who own private jets and all. They had their phones. One time it was like a small briefcase of like a tiny briefcase of cell phones. Car phones used to be very ugly and funny, but that's what it was back in the day. So I'm just saying the rich had it first. So you see these wealthy neighborhoods, they'll start tokenizing their property. Oh, it's a new way. It's greener. It's better. We don't have to print any paper. We don't have to do all this climate change, all this. They'll put it on there. So think about it. You get 10 counties doing this. This is only one county. You don't know the conversations that are going on right now. And once this is done, the speed with which they will do the others is like unbelievable. It'll be like scan, boom, scan, boom, scan, boom, scan, boom. Remember, it's always difficult at first. Once you get it going, they will have developed other approaches and systems to scan that thing with AI, boom, 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 and properties will be tokenized like you wouldn't believe it. Look at the speed at which AI gets information today. It's a knowledge aggregator, right? And it goes so quick. It's also a learning model. Anything that's repetitive, AI will learn it and spit it out, and now continue to create models, following that until it is reprogrammed to learn something else. The top 4 Texas cities are worth 100 plus billion. You think? No, I think way more. More? No, 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 no. A trillion, more than a. Look at that's one county. 240 billion in real estate, just one county. We're not talking. So think about a whole state. Dallas. Exactly. I know. Hey, my life. I didn't see you coming. How you doing? I reached out to you the other day. Yeah. So, I mean, guys, like, think about it. So, the point I'm making here is you've got London, you've got this, you've got that. It leads to one thing. There'll be a blindsiding. There'll be, and there are many wealthy people. I was watching Jay Claver's, listening to Jay Claver's space that he held for a leading Canadian publication for crypto. And he was talking about how, and he was on point, but he was talking about how, what was that he was talking about? Hey man, I forget. I just lost my thought. Sorry, forgive me, guys. But he was trying to point out. What was this? Oh yeah, he was talking about his look. They were asking about the type of clients he has and all that, and he said some of the people who are his clients are already very wealthy people, and they don't jump into things. And I said this on here before. I'm like, the millionaires are just now beginning to. When I say millionaires, I mean when I say the top 1%, I mean the top 1%. The people who have 11 million, all right, 11 point something $1 million in paper assets only, not with real estate. Some of them, if you add their real estate, they might be closer to 15 million or more. So the 1% are defined without real estate taken into consideration. So that you should have at least 11.5 or more million to be considered the top 1%. Those only started asking questions about crypto late last year, after June, August. They were like, okay, we're hearing about this. We're hearing about this. We're hearing about this. A wealthy gentleman asked me something. He said, I'm hearing a lot about XRP, and I was told to talk to you. My daughter asked me to talk to you. He said, I want to put about 40 grand in just to see how it is. And I said, okay. He said, will it keep going up, or will it, like the questions they don't ask of their own investments because they understand it. They ask it of investments that are new because they don't understand it and they're petrified of it. So they need somebody to hold their hands, to guide them and say, this is what you need to do. Look up my Patreon if you're new and you're watching me. Look up my Patreon. YouTube has not been fair on some of the other smaller channels over. They've changed some things with their algorithm quietly. I was watching a video about it yesterday. A guy did a deep dive, and there's things today. If you put out a video, if it doesn't hit a certain benchmark within 90 minutes, it's more like going to die. So there's a couple of things they've done, and which favor some of the larger channels, but it's okay. Here we are, doing what we can. Hopefully, you guys can continue to support, and we can do what we do. But I'm glad for you who are here, and I'm thanking God for you. So look at what it says. The partnership will transform property records into tamper-proof digital assets on the Avalanche blockchain, cutting deed processing time by over 90%, while reducing fraud risk and administrative errors. This is what I've been saying. Now, this is tokenization. Remember how I explained tokenization to you guys? It's like a street. No, like on this street, there are properties on either side. Blockchain is like a street. Imagine a street in your head with a toll gate at the end. The toll gate is the proprietary wallet, and the proprietary wallet. Because remember, all of these blockchains, is it Stellar? They have Lobster, right? Is it XRPL? They have the Zaman wallet, which is a separate company, but they've done a good job in working with XRP Labs to get where they are. Okay, then you got like Solana has a Soulflare. So imagine this highway, or not a highway, this street, and on either side there are houses. Each of those houses are different things. One of the houses is the library. The other house is the swimming pool for the the YMCA swimming pool. This one over there is a tennis club. Then there's houses further down the road, and there's a little bit of commercial over there. That's how you see the wallets and all these things. Now, when you want to tokenize, imagine you have a blockchain that already has all of these services. It's like fresh land has been subdivided by the county, by the rural municipality or the state, and then they're now selling lots to people. Now people are going to put those assets, those properties, okay, tokenized on these addresses. Remember, everything about blockchain is addresses. And so when you look at the street, there's all these properties. Down the street, there's a property worth 2 million. Over here, there's one worth 7 million. Over here, there's what 350,000. You put all of that together. Suddenly, you find a tract of land, which is your street, your blockchain street, chain street. It's now worth thousands and thousands and millions and millions and billions and trillions as you add on. It's like layering those stacks of assets on. And that's why there's something called the XRP calculator. On the XRP calculator, you see how they planned this out since like way back in the day, 2014, 2011. This is even before this. This has been coming from 1988, 1989. So the patent for is it Ripple XRP was way back in 1988. And those documents are now surfacing, and people are like, wow, this has been going on for a very long time. So if Bergen County can do it, several other counties can do it. I'm just showing you one county, guys, just one. Okay? Now, look at this one also that I showed you the other day. And I'm going to repeat this again today because this is important, okay? So here is Decrypt publishing this, okay? Homebase sells a 235,000 Texas house via Solana. Look, the Lord showed me Solana also as a very viable investment. That's why I bought into Solana. Solana has just released a phone, the Solana phone. You can mine on it as well, right? Well, they had it before, but they have a different version now. I'm not buying it. But Solana is doing so many different things. So many different things. Look here. Homebase sells 235,000 Texas house via Solana NFTs. Homebase announced that it has successfully tokenized its first single-family rental property in McAllen, Texas, valued at 235,000. By the way, they did this on Solana, but Algorand is going to be the king of this one. When it comes to international real estate, Algorand is it. That's the way to go. So if you want to invest in Algorand, you're more than welcome. But just don't invest and come and ask me tomorrow, oh, you recommended this. I'm not recommending. I'm telling you, that's what I would do if I wanted to invest. But yeah, just do your research. The tokenization was done on the Solana blockchain and raised 246,800 in 2 weeks, with 11,800 set aside for maintenance. Look, if you have a rental property, this is what you should be looking at, because a time is coming when you want to pull money out of your rental property. You can say, all right, I am selling 50% of my rental property share. Remember, what do they do? The wealthy, what do? They buy, borrow, insure, and die when it's time. And then they do all this within the context of a corporation. And then when they die, they pass on the corporation to their heirs. So let's say you have a house worth $500,000, you've paid down your mortgage to a point, you're like, okay, you know what, or you have land, whatever, you can tokenize it. As long as there's rent coming out of it, right? As it's producing income, positive cash flow, you can tokenize it and sell portions of it. I've showed you on one of my lives way back another site, Lofty AI. Lofty.ai. I've shown you Lofty.ai. And Dubai is doing this seriously. You see, Dubai, they're so smart. United Arab Emirates, small country with less than 12 million people. What they've done is they are inviting the world to come and buy into. But first of all, they make sure their own citizens get the first dibs. Then they have a different product for outsiders. That's people who care about their own country. I don't know, like there's nothing wrong in wanting your country to be first. I don't see what's wrong with that. So, and they raised 246,000 in 2 weeks with $11,800 set aside for maintenance. The process involved filing SEC paperwork and took a year to complete, with 38 investors participating, 30 of them non-accredited. 30 of them non-accredited. This is the oil, or this is the sauce in the whole thing. 30 of those people who invested are non-accredited investors. This is how when they say inclusivity, they're not talking about inclusion by race. They're talking about inclusion by bringing people who, were not able, because that stuff where they say you have to be an accredited investor and they get all the best deals. The rich keep getting richer and the poor are not given a chance. This is an opportunity, and a time is coming. This thing is going to snowball, and it'll just be available. It's going to happen. Yes, Ryan Fuga. Exactly. There's a lot of things that have come out of Canada here. Oh, I just wanted to kind of share these with you, my thoughts, guys. I haven't done a live in a while. I've been doing some shorts recently, just trying to tinker with things. Yeah. So I'll leave that there. But that's just my take on things. That with all of this that I've said so far, with all of this that I've shown you on today's live, I believe that XRP will explode in price. I just wanted to remind you that I will be back in Conroe, Texas. For those of you who are interested in joining, we have some participants signed up already. We need some more. So email me right there and I will give you all the details, and you can join us in Conroe, Texas from January 29th to February 1st. By the grace of God, we'll be having a great time. I'll just leave that there for now. So if other people come on, they can watch and see. But let me read your comments. Algo is king of real estate. I agree. Trillions. Yes, they use climate change as an excuse. Yes, tokenized is the top 4 Texas cities are worth this. Yeah. If everything's going to be tokenized, that 3 trillion is a drop in the exactly. Mercia gets it. I don't know if he's still on here, but you get it. That's what I'm saying. Can bull run happen, or is it over? Lasoribrian. Of course, it's not over. Like, what are you talking about? If it goes to 10 trillion, that's not a 3x, that's a multiplier. Yeah. Us Americans that are weak understand totally how blessed we are to have President Trump as our president. God has blessed us with the man to do God's will. Tammy Collins. On RJ, thank you for joining. No, Americans don't. Well, not all of them. It's just the left. And it's just the loud ones. A lot of people are now on board. Hey, thank you so much for the gift, Daniel. I just seen it. You can't expect everything to be given to you. Go out and get it. Learn the space. Exactly. I wish we can go back to those days when XRP was a little cheap. 9% on 14K a year is 2K. That can be used next year if price don't move. Exactly. That can be, yeah. Hey, sister. That's exactly what I've been doing, walking and learning new hobbies. Exactly. I remember around 5 years ago, this time of year, buying XRP for sub 30 cents. Exactly. We were there. Like Kryptonite always says, why aren't you buying it now? 19 months, yeah, since halving. For your own mental health, get a hobby and just stack. Exactly. Go for what I like you guys who are on my channel here. Like, you guys are awesome. Yeah. This isn't about crypto only. No, crypto actually is what is the mechanism to bring all the value. That's how you bring all the value. You bring all the value in fiat. You bring all the value with real estate, all the value with shipping, all the value with whatever. So the blockchain is the medium for doing that, with crypto as the little converter, right? Making things happen. Well, I think I've seen all the comments so far. London and New York are the two. Yeah, I like that comment. London and New York are the two top dogs. When Toyota, did Tommy come in? He's the only one that makes us say when Toyota. No, I didn't see him. The guy who said Louis Jackson changes views. I don't. How many of you have watched Louis Jackson, some of his new stuff? He's been like saying different things about XRP from what he first believed. I don't know. Does anybody know? Thompson, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. This may be an overnight spike in price. Bull run may end up starting and ending within 24 hours. Do you agree? I don't think so. I think it'll go for like 3 weeks to 3 months, because there's difference. So while Ethereum Ethereum dominance comes up, right? We haven't seen that yet. Okay, we're gonna see Bogure. So Ethereum, Bogure, you've done your research, right? I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing? So, and you are a Londoner, right? Am I right? Ultimate Connections. How you doing? So, what was this? So with the bull run, if you look, see, I don't know why people don't look at past. Let me read something to you. Let me read something to you from X, from this guy that I follow. Let me see if I can find him now. Okay, this is what he said. Hmm. Okay. Alt season always begins when the crowd is bearish, just like now. This was 8 hours ago. Why fear is everywhere? Institutions are buying like never before. Regulations are becoming more favorable. I wish I had the funds, right? New ETFs keep going live almost every week. What you are seeing is retail selling in panic while whales are quietly absorbing the supply. So stay where you are, hold your position. Okay. Exactly. Mercia, we are in a totally different circle. Okay. New ETFs keep going live almost every. What you are seeing is retail selling in panic while whales are quietly absorbing the supply. Gold is up about 80% in a year. Silver is up roughly 180% in a year. True. Money always moves down the risk curve. Metals move first. Bitcoin follows. Then the rest of crypto explodes. This guy gets it. If gold can deliver 100,000, 100%, silver delivers 200%, Bitcoin doing 300% is not aggressive. It is conservative. That alone puts Bitcoin above $400,000. You may think I'm exaggerating. You are simply not bullish enough. 2026 is not just Bitcoin's year. 2026 is the year crypto takes over. This is the reality. Look at the news that is happening like in one day. You remember Ripple bought Medical in 2023, right? They bought Medical in 2023. They've been involved in a PolySign since 2022, 2021. But in 2024 and 2025, the level of buying and buying and buying and buying companies, 2025 was the worst in not a worst bad way, but it was like the really, how do I say, they became so aggressive. They were just buying left, right, and center. And in 2025, before the year ended, they applied to be a national, what do you call it? Charter bank, right? Trust bank. So, let me show you something else. Okay. This is from Wilberforce Theophilus. I like this guy. A lot of people are so focused on the correction that they have lost awareness of what is really happening in the market. Donald Trump just ordered $200 billion in mortgage bond buying. What that means is that rates are being pushed lower. And once rates go lower, the money printer goes boom. You can call me whatever you want, but I will keep saying this again and again. This is 2021 repeating itself. Same data, same pattern, same motion. Stocks are already at an all-time high. Gold is already at all-time high. Silver has already gone parallel. You remember how silver just stayed? I'm telling you, if you think silver is not a sign, I'm not a precious metals expert, but Pastor Keith, my good friend, he is an expert in precious metals. I'm telling you, silver just lay there and everybody's like, oh, silver is suppressed. It's suppressed. It's suppressed. Oh, it doesn't, it's not moving. For the longest time. I remember buying silver. I was at $36. Silver is 80 some dollars today. If silver that has been dormant suddenly moves, shouldn't that tell us something? Let's go further. He says, so watch how all this rotates back into crypto. Because crypto is a risk-on asset. And your risk-on assets are the last thing traditionals will go. They will do this. This is what the traditional investors will do. Whether it's institutional, because institutional investors are playing in the game too. They are doing it outside of legal ramifications the Clarity Act and the Genius Act. They are playing. What do? They have all these subsidiaries that play in dark pools. I mean, you go to some of this, you go to PancakeSwap, you think that some institutions are not there playing in the dark pools. That's why Elizabeth Warren is screaming, oh, it's money laundering. But they are doing their own on their own side. So let me finish this post on X by Theophilus here, Wilberforce. He says, there is no way gold, silver, copper, and stocks can touch all-time highs while the crypto market cap remains tiny. It's impossible. It's impossible. Because money will rotate. It has to rotate. It has to rotate. I will remind you of this post when the entire crypto market cap doubles, triples, and more. Here's one thing that I must say, though, a caveat. In the event that there is any war breaking out, that can affect this, what he just said. Because if the Ukraine is not resolved, so Trump is trying to work to solve the Ukraine and Russia thing. And if they settle it at the end of this month, Robin Cunningham was saying that to me, that he's if it settles, that's a conditional, right? This is not a prophecy, conditional. We are going to see the market take off. That's what we are predicting. Remember, everybody's predicting based on what we know, what we see, and all of that, what the direction of things will be. We really don't know. But we can at least make educated guesses. We can make, you can also, how would I say it? Predict based on models, looking at the pattern of the past. So one more thing I would say. This same guy shows an image of somebody who bought a certain crypto and he bought it at 1 cent. And when he sold, his profit and loss, his P&L was 1 billion. So there will be those kinds of people this year. Because, and here's the thing, okay? This was a meme coin. This is the greatest trade in meme coin history. He was showing as ranking number 1. That meme coin, I'm not even sure which one it is, but that meme coin exploded. Well, he said it could have been an insider trade. But if you catch things early, the insider may make $500 million or $1 billion. What if you only were able to clear 100 million? The kingdom needs resources, and there's a wealth transfer about to take place. Oh, a dollar is paper money, is backed by nothing. They try to use the petrodollar, the whatever, but gold should have been it. And we're returning to the gold standard. So those are the things I wanted to talk about. Any more thoughts from you guys? This has been interesting, right? XRP will be the global standard. Even Tucker Carlson has started talking about crypto being the next thing. And once you start hearing it, the last place you will hear it on is the news. Our news people who don't tell us the truth. You're going to hear from MSNBC, CNN. The day you hear it on BBC, all these places, it's too late. It's too late. I agree. XPR and ETN is cheap. I am on the metal lending platform. I really like it because, again, it's not very deep with financial debt, like cash value. The total cash, I like it because, the total value locked is $55 million. So it's not like a lot of money, but it's a healthy platform, well designed, waiting for its time. So here's my prediction. This is just me. You're going to see a lot of money pile into certain platforms, into certain liquidity pools that will crash eventually, just like in the .com era. You want to tie your assets that you're looking to lend to a platform to platforms that have long-standing credibility because of the people behind it. You know who is behind them. You can see them. Like, again, this is not still a guarantee, but they are doing something for a sector of the economy. That's where you want to park your assets. So you can go look at the liquidity pools that are on different platforms. XLM block, all the blockchain have dexes. They all have dexes. XRP has a dex. You can go on there and play on their dex, right? But you got to be careful too. The most important thing is learn how to lend your money on a DEX platform, lend your assets to earn income. And it's good to look at the different ones. I looked at my earning on Metal X today and I was pleased. It's not a lot, but it tells me that when those values go up, that's what will happen. Imagine having $1 million and you're getting about 4% back. That's 40,000. Now have it in 5 different places. That's 40 times 5. That's 200,000. That's not a bad income to be making when milk gets to $10. And I don't think I need milk. But you know what I mean? An apple is $10, one or $30. Then, that's not a bad income to have. And we're getting older. Bogle Raid says, don't listen to what they say. I actually had a video titled that one time. Yeah. When you've heard it on the news, now we're hearing Tucker. Remember, Tucker is independent. They call them independent, but they are taking over the main media. Tucker Carlson, all of these other guys. You hear, what's his name? Oh, man, I forget this guy. That he's been very, very big on, we see him interviewing people and all of that. So, but by the time CNN talks about it, it's over. H-bar, ADA. Like ADA right now, my ADA is giving me, let me see. I mean, ADA, like how much is ADA? I'm getting, so on my Cardano, I'm getting 7.68% APY. And APY is not APR. APY is compounded, while APR is basically linear. All right. And I could turn around and borrow from my ADA right there and still use it for whatever I want. This is good. I'm like a bank. I'm like my own bank. This is why the American Banking Association, they did everything. They wrote a letter in July trying to stop the after Trump signed the Genius Act, and they saw that we could earn income legally from our stable coins. In August, they released the letter. They couldn't wait. Their stomachs were boiling. You have the American Bankers Association and the bank, what's the name of this organization? Sorry, I don't remember all these names because man, it's the American Bankers Association. They were upset. They were like, man, what are you doing? How you want to kill us? But it's not this. They've eaten enough. They've eaten and they're fat. Other people have to now, like democratize money, decentralize money. Okay. You never thought about it what way? Yeah. So with like I said, the guy who said HBAR and ADA, I have HBAR, but I don't have it on here because HBAR here would give me only 2.6%, 2.06. I don't want that. So, but on here, I can get, for my Solana today, I'm getting 8.91%. And for my ADA, I'm getting 7.67%. Where do you get 7%? Like where? Where? The total value locked here is $1 million. It's not a lot, but it is something. It's something. This is all their test kits. They're testing everything, and they're going to grandfather some of us in because, well, you are in there already. They're not going to say, oh, you have to be worth this. And this is why what you are holding, you have to keep it safe, because even when they choose to say, okay, you can only trade in this decentralized if you are, and they're probably going to raise the see, these people, these politicians, they're something else. They're probably going to raise the limit for, like, if 1% is 11 million, they might take it to 20 million. They might take it to 15 million. The only way they won't take it is if it will affect them. So that's why load up on the cheap ones, buy some, put like $1,000 into a meme coin if you can afford it. That is going somewhere. Because that's where the surprises will come from. Why they are busy trying to keep us down, keep the poor people and the middle class down, and God has revealed to us that he's going to transfer wealth. Don't focus only on XRP, because sometimes they will delay and try. And what I believe will happen with XRP is that we will see an explosion of price on the upside, and they'll come down again, but not back to where it was. I've said before that I believe that you will see it go high, right? And then lose 90%, but not below what it ever was. Just like what happened recently, went to $3.40, came back to $1.60, $1.80, $1.88, $1.99, and it's around the $2.05 cents. I don't know what it is right now, but yeah. Flare, no. Flare is amazing. Yeah, I hope you guys hold Flare. It's so cheap right now. Constellation, that's they have 100,000 of this, 100,000 of that. It doesn't cost much to get those things right now. And I've said, if you are here and you're about my age and you have retirement funds and you are planning, you have your retirement funds is $500,000. $500,000 giving you 3% every year won't feed you. It's 15,000 a year. You can't pay rent with that. Of course, you get your pension and all that. But even the pension they're talking about, the money the value is dropping. So you need a digital asset that is going to rise in value ahead of inflation. It's a great hedge. It's not just a hedge. It's an inflation explosive. It's an inflation bomb. No, you don't get 7% anywhere. So you are your own bank. That's what we've been saying. Become your own bank. And as your own bank, you have your subsidiary, you have your LLC, you have your limited liability company or your trust. And inside of there, you put your assets, and then you move your assets into these things, and you label them in your ledger in the name of your corporation or in the name of your trust. Those of us in Canada don't have to do it quickly, because when you move it into a trust or into a company, they don't tax you just like it is in America. In America, if you move it, when the value is high, you have to pay the difference. Yeah, so you have to pay tax on the value accumulated. So yeah, and again, you can set your buy orders for flash crashes, or Kryptonite has been talking about it. You can take $100, $20, and set $1 flash crash for Bitcoin, because it can happen. Just go like that. But when it happens, you have to already be in the zero knowledge proof. That's what I'm going to say. Go to my Patreon, join me, because I'm going to be talking about those things this year. Just let's travel together. Try to sign up for the higher tiers, not the $6. It doesn't get you much. But what I'm saying is this: we have to start talking about. So if you see, last year, KuCoin just canceled people's buy limit orders. They canceled them. No, in 2023, that's when they did that. So you can imagine, was it 23 or 24? 24. Just like that. So that's what exchanges do. So you get off the exchanges, you go to decentralized exchanges, and you set your buy limit orders there in different places. So when I've shown you how to do it on Zaman on my Patreon, right? But I'm going to do other ones as well. No rush, because there's no need to have 100 different, in my opinion, if you have a lot, it's good. But so I think people get confused when there's so many options, and it's like, okay, where do I go? And then people have only so much money, right? So, but the good news is you can put 50 here, 100 there. Kryptonite calls it traps, setting traps. All right. Well, thank you so much. So I will try to do a training or a live or something, and just show people who are wondering how this can be done. So you need two things. You need to be able to lend your assets to a platform, and platforms are different. What you can get for Solana here, you won't get it for Solana over there. What you can get rewarded for XLM over here on Lobster, you won't get it on Metal X, because Lobster is a proprietary wallet and DEX for XLM. You see what I'm saying? So you have to, at least know 3 to 4 different ones. Exactly. So the idea is that if you get Bitcoin, if there's a flash crash, you won't even know, you won't see it, right? People may not know, because it might be when we're sleeping, and a flash crash happens, but you set a buy limit order to get 10, and you got maybe, let's say Bitcoin flash crash to $10. Just this flash crash I'm talking about may be like, see my eye, like that, and it's gone. It's a shock in the system. Nobody really sees it. But because you set the buy limit order, depending on what kind of buy limit order you set, if it's a taker order, then it will take it. But once it takes it, you have to be able to move it quickly. Once you move it quickly, yeah. So you because if Bitcoin flash crashes on exchange number one, it's likely going to happen on exchange number two. Rarely do you have, and then in the DEX environment, rarely do you have isolated incidents on separate blockchains if it were not a manipulated thing. But as they play with these things, they will make a mistake one day. It's like somebody hanging on a cliff and trying to take a selfie. They've done it 7 times, and one day they now want to do it, and their leg slips, and they're down on the ledge. Praise God, they didn't die, but they need help to come back up. So playing around with these things, games and games and games, and like they're just laughing at people for losing money. They have their own day of judgment too, and I think part of that is where the flash crashes happen, because you can manipulate as much as you like. Many days for the thief, one day for the owner. One day it'll come and haunt you. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you guys have been blessed. God bless you all. XRP will blindside many people. Not staking until there's global crypto regulation, not worth the risk for me. Okay, that's fine. This is my first time listening to you. Like, what am I hearing? Is it good or bad? Marlene Goodman. All right. Am I saying good things or bad things? Join my Patreon. Let's go talk about liquidity pools. Let's talk about DeFi. Take your $100,000 worth of assets and key it into a place where you get 9%, 20,000, 9%. So sexes are shady. LA token exchange stole people's exactly central. Yeah, they are shady, and they are the ones that are regulated. Look at this guy here who says that he doesn't want to stake. Financial freedom. I appreciate your comment, but I'm telling you, this is why I'm staking. I'm not staking everything. If you are investing and you are afraid of losing, then what you need to do is to put a portion. So I took a little portion on my back, like Flare. Like, see, XRP was not regulated. There are people who did not buy XRP because it wasn't yet regulated. There are people who left XRP because it had a court case. What they're doing is playing with people's minds. So when they regulate, here's what they're going to do. They're going to make you take your assets to a financial institution. If you are not already within the system, that's what I think is going to happen. But if you're a shoe in, if you have one leg in, you'll be grandfathered in. I've given you the example. Watch this. So I live in this house. I've lived in this house for 16 years. If when I bought it, there was electric cabling from 1920. I actually bought a property once. Okay, let me even give that example. I bought a property once. It was a house built about 85, 90 years ago. It had a asbestos boiler, to be honest with you. I like boiler heat because it's very even. It's not electric or gas furnace. It's amazing. It's water in the heating system. So but the electricity was knob and tube. Now, because it was already existing and I wasn't trying to break a wall, the city did not ask me to change anything. But the moment you say, I want to remove the kitchen wall, you could hide and do it, but it's not safe, because if anything goes wrong, or you want to remove an exterior wall to add onto the building, right? Then they say, well, let's look at what kind of electrical do you have. That little renovation that will cost you 50,000 that you want to do to add to the value of the house, or 25,000, whatever, to add a bedroom. I'm telling you, the city will come and say, you must change all the electricals. So you plan 25,000 now, because electricals are expensive. Electricians make a lot of money. Some of them is $75 an hour, 120 per hour, depending on what kind of company you're dealing with. Because some of them, they charge so high, they only work with developers. When you come to them, they say, we'll take your job, no problem, but this is our rate. That's so they kind of push people away, except in a low season, they take those jobs. So it's expensive. Your project goes from 25,000 to what? to 35,000. Why? Because you have to now change the entire. It's a small house, 2-bedroom house with people coming back from the war, First World War in those days and all that. That's what they were building. It has a tiny crawl space that looks like a basement. It's not a basement. So we put up a new furnace, did everything. Beautiful house. But the point I'm making is I was grandfathered in basically. There's no need to change anything. I own the property. I own the deed. But now, when it's time to break a wall down, any structural changes, they come at you. In fact, they won't stop at electrical. They'll go to plumbing. So if your plumbing is lead pipes from way back in the day, they want it to be copper or PEX. If you're in construction, you know what I'm talking about. What's his name is not here. Chris would get it. So they want you to change the PEX or copper, right? That because an inspector comes into the house, he'll see everything, right? So do you see what I'm saying? Now let's apply that to the crypto industry. People do not know how fast this thing is moving. What has happened in crypto in a decade is 50 years of progress. Because with Web3, with Web2 and Web1 combined, in Web3, we are seeing the kind of acceleration we've not seen. You see, with construction, it takes 50 to 60 years to make a major change. With computer technology, forget it. 6 months, everything has changed. So the rate at which things are moving as well, people think we have time. No, you've got to learn what you can right now. So why shouldn't I put $1,000 in DeFi? If your portfolio is 100,000, you can't use 1,000 to learn and lock yourself in and have an address in DeFi. When you wait for regulation, the regulators already they made a way. One of the regulations they will do is to regulate you out. So don't wait for regulation. Don't wait so that they don't regulate you. So what you do, you get DAG. You put a little on DAG. Keep the other in your cold wallet. In a decent. That's the only one that works with that. You get Flare. You get some on the Bifrost wallet or the what other wallet is that? Put some on your ledger. Okay, connect your ledger to Rabi wallet, or you connect your ledger. I always say to people, make sure you connect your hardware wallet to your hot wallet. This way you create a multi-sig environment, right? So nobody can just go and steal your stuff. If Trust Wallet, look at all the stealing on Trust Wallet. So if you have MetaMask, you can also connect. Like my MetaMask is connected to my ledger. I can do some things on MetaMask without my ledger, but certain accounts, certain seed phrases are connected to the ledger. LA Token stole people's WikiCat. They say if you want, we'll give you, But again, at least I think that they had a problem. I don't know what it was. I really don't know. But it's shady. Plumbing assistant. Oh my. Wade Riemann and Embalumen. There you go. Blessings, man of God from you. Hey, Divine Love. How you doing? God bless you. Soon they will say you need to be accredited. Exactly what I'm saying. So if you have 10,000 worth of XRP, they will do whatever to keep the price down until they make sure they keep people out of that accredited level. But I'm just speculating. I could be wrong, right? But here is what I use the past. See, if you've been around for as long as I have, you look at what happened in 1980. You look at what happened in 1979. I was old enough I'm old enough to remember what happened from 1975. Some things that I didn't understand. Now looking back, as a child, 12 years old in the 70s, I look back, I said, oh, so this is what it is, because I now have more knowledge. Hindsight, I can bring it into the present. So the changes that are taking place, okay, you use what you know in the past to reverse. So for me, I think I will suggest to anybody who is a follower, a subscriber on my channel, who gives me $5 a month to be a member, who is on my Patreon, I will say to them, if you have a portfolio that is X amount of dollars, when people have a meeting with me and they show me their portfolio, I advise them on what to do. I don't do a lot of that because it takes a lot of time. But I say, hey, you've got 40 grand in this crypto. Why don't you take 2,000 out of it and do Flare and do Kinetic and do this or that or that? Not just Kinetic. There's other third party, because XRP didn't have legs to walk in DeFi. Bitcoin didn't, right? Doge did not. These were the first children of Bitcoin, and then the other altcoins and became grandchildren. The grandchildren are now, they are from day one, they are entering into DeFi. Susan Berger says, should we keep buying XRP? I can't tell you what to buy, what not to buy. Join my Patreon and then send me messages there when you join. Don't join the $6 one, I beg you, because I won't be able to address that. But join the higher tiers and I'll respond to your messages. Just tell me that this is what you want to know. I'll tell you. I can't do that all on here. But I'm telling you, I'm putting time into this. I'm trying to make sure that people get the information that they need. See, you can wait and do something. You can have 50,000 and give it to Jake Claver and just get money out of there. But you can also learn how to do DeFi yourself, because DeFi will remain here and become the TradFi. So you, even if you have a broker at that time, you have the knowledge. Right now, I just told you, right now, today, I earn 9% on my Solana. 9%. If you go on the Soulflare wallet, you will earn, let me just confirm that I'm telling you the truth. On Litecoin, I don't have Litecoin, but on Litecoin, I can make 7.94% APY. On Solana, 9.08% APY. On Tether, if I sold a crypto right now and I made money on Tether, I'll just put it in here. I'll get 21% APY. Put it there for 7 days. See what happens. Says Twitter AI saying XRP won't. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But like, that's why I'm saying whether it reaches $10 this year. But what did it tell you what it will reach though? If it reaches $5, for some people that's good, because remember, no bank gives you the return on your investment double. It doesn't happen. So if it goes to $5, some people bought already, but we don't know. So, but I believe that it will blindside people. So you could either get out of XRP and wait until it starts going up to get back in, or you can hold what you have and enter into DeFi with it. Thank you, Lions. Says Daniel says AI makes mistakes. AI said gold won't hit 3K, and is that so? Atlas Power. When you go on AI, AI is not a human being. AI is a knowledge aggregator, and AI is a learning model. It learns what you want. It learns what you do, like everything like that. Anything repetitive, AI will take over. But here's the point: there's more than what AI is saying. AI is not intelligent. AI is artificial intelligence. It moves. It takes what is existing, and that's why if you ask AI a question of what's not existing, it'll be thinking for 5 minutes. I've done it many times. Yes, you can. Correct, my life. Yeah, you're right. You would get Solana, correct? Am I right? You get Solana back? Because it all depends on what they give you back. Some, Soulflare will give you Solana. 6.8% is so good. It's so easy to do. Like, I don't know. And people are like, oh no, I'm not doing anything like that. Nobody will take it from you. It's in the blockchain. You see, it's also because people don't understand. What you have is sitting in a blockchain, not even in this device. This thing doesn't have anything in it. It's a key. Everything is on the blockchain. Nothing leaves the blockchain. All right. My ledger has so many options. They've done a very good job, in my opinion. But during the bull run, when you try to sell out a ledger, you connect to either Inch or a couple other third party bank X, and they charge a lot. That's what I noticed. But it's convenient. So for me, I'm like, okay, if I'm selling to get 10 grand and they're going to charge me 250 or something like that, I'll do it because I want to avoid the exchanges. I don't want to get trapped in the exchange. Remember the street I told you about blockchain? On either side, there are houses, libraries, swimming pools, YMCA, everything. That's how it is. So a new wallet gets launched and gets connected, multi-chain wallet, it will be connected to different blockchains. It has its replica. It's like having a Best Western everywhere. Hey, Crovert, how you doing? God bless you. A certified deposit at the bank in the States is 4.5% last year, and a CD is illiquid, and DeFi, you still have liquidity. You can even borrow from that, your liquidity, without, it's permissionless. Yes, I know the fees are high. Fees are high. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time on here today. I appreciate you all. You guys are cool. You guys are awesome. And I hope to see you soon. And what are you exactly about my life? Which one? The CD? Yeah, I stayed for 90 minutes. That's not bad, right? 90 minutes. Wow, I did well. Crypto are the new products that banks will sell to you. That's what Jake Claver said on his um the crypto for Canadians that they did on X, the space. He said they will package it. All right, they will package it and send it to you and sell it to you. That's what they are going to do. Yes. Pastor, what if you stake and they collapse? Like that's why I said, I want to. I only stake. I don't just stake in some pools that don't have leg or tail. I will research the company behind it. Daniel, tell me if you agree with this. I'll research the company that I feel that like that's why I'm doing metal blockchain. Why? Because um, I have researched Metallicus, I've researched Marshall Hina, I've researched the history, how he's traveled, and with the companies he's worked for, XRP, XLM, Stellar, Ripple, and now um, Metallicus. And so that's why I kind of do that. The Zaman wallet for me is you can't stake on there as it were. Joey wallet, not bad, but those are XRPL environments. So you study and see where things are going. So I'm not staking everything. That's where you are making a mistake. I'm staking a little bit of my bag. So let's say you have 10,000. Why can't I use 10% of my bag? Like if I'm afraid to lose, that's not the mind of an investor. So I have to remember, even when crypto goes up, we have to invest in land. We have to invest in buying farms. So this is the time to train ourselves with a solid mindset. Be in a community that will strengthen your faith. It's not enough to have $60 million. It's what you do with it that matters, because $60 million can go like that. So, or 100 million, whatever. So you want to, that's for me. I took a bit of my portfolio and I put it on the F assets. It's not everything. And will I lose it? I don't think so, because look, there's so much involved. This is not like FTX though. It's so different. And researching is important. Who's behind it? What are they trying to do? They are preparing for the traditional banks to for TradFi to collapse into DeFi. So we will benefit from regulation. But you see, the best money and the best knowledge is gotten before regulation. And when I research, I prefer putting my money on a company that is directly linked with the banking system. They on the scanner, they have already issued tokens for the different credit unions that they are working with. And they have over 750 credit unions. I saw it there. That's why I'm saying this. Okay. The other thing you have to understand, financial freedom, is Are my assets insured? Not at the moment, because I have my stuff in the blockchain on a cold ledger, sorry, on a cold wallet. So I'm not too worried about that at the moment. You could insure it if you wanted, but again, not really. Like I'm not doing a crazy, like $1 million crazy stuff on DeFi. But there are people doing that. I see it. The pools are deep. A lot of money is in there. And so if you have time, you can look into the liquidity pools as well. It's no look at that comment, freedom. It's no comparison. Like we can't operate in fear, because if we have fear now, we're going to have fear later. Job said, "The thing which I fear has come upon me." So we have to have faith. So what we do, thank you, Daniel, for the gift. So those of you who want to give me a gift for donuts, please go ahead. I appreciate it. Thank you. You see, so freedom, what's his name again? Financial freedom. Yeah. So you could insure your assets. There's different options to insure assets in DeFi. But what I would say is, look at your portfolio and say, how much of my portfolio can I risk? It's a risk. And then study the platforms you are going. You can look at Aave. You can look at, there's so many. Look at Balancer collapse. You're right. There's need to be concerned. Well, it didn't collapse, but it was hacked recently, right? And that was the third hack. But me, after the first hack, I won't go back there. But I don't use Balancer, right? I don't, there's different ones. But everything is a risk. And even in regulation, things collapse. So it depends on what you are holding. But if you are holding a significant amount of crypto, join my join my crypto, join my Patreon. Be in my Patreon. I don't believe that people should be putting a lot of money into crypto and not really understanding the space. And one more thing, freedom. Do you know that all your crypto is on the blockchain? It doesn't leave the blockchain. So your device, whether it is this, whether it's engrave, I don't care, Ellipal, name it, it is a key. And the ones that are the ones that have several layers of security is just that the key is made more and more and more and more secure, right? Cold deep freezer, cold wallet. So it's not on here. This is just a key. That's why if you lose this, you throw it into the river and you can't find it. As long as you have your seed phrase, that's what you must never lose. Those numbers on a piece of paper hidden somewhere where nobody can find it, hidden in the ground, that's where everything is. If somebody picks up this and doesn't have the seed phrase and all that, and they miss, it goes 3 times, it's done. They can't get in. So everything's on the blockchain. Once you remember that, it gives you a little bit more peace as to how you can, people invested in FTX is a little different, and things are changing rapidly. So, and they lost money. People borrowed money too. Also, people conflate taking out like loans, leveraging. I don't do that. That's not what I'm talking about. I won't even I won't ask anyone I care about to go and do leveraging, because the exchanges are the ones who make all the money at the end of the day. People are making money on there, but it's very risky. That's, you borrow money from the exchange to trade. Why would you want to do that? So, let's not be greedy. If you want to join us at the conference, send me an email. My email is right there, aircrew.agility5p@icloud.com. You did the first risk by investing in crypto. Take the next step with very little of your portfolio to start. That's right. So, freedom, that's what you can do. Let me see any other questions. Yeah. The Dodd-Frank Act, none of your money in the bank is safe. Look at savings and loans in the 80s. You can't be scared. Exactly. You can be. Yeah. So for me, safe DeFi, not anything crazy, try the different platforms. It's so easy to use. People just have to learn, and then don't do too many different ones. Focus on a few, learn them, and then put your assets in there. All right. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Nice to have you all on here again. It's been a pleasure hosting this live. I'll see you guys in the next one.